Then I had the idea of speaking love about finances, because I believe that if we live in a place of lack or scarcity and we don't have abundance, or what we believe we need to have abundance in our life, that this keeps us in lower vibrational frequencies, okay? So I think it's really important to talk about this, because this alone can keep us stuck there. We are in a time when we're polarized, and it might feel easier than being present. It can be really hard to sit still when it's quiet. And remember, a couple, 2-3 weeks ago, I talked about my friend who did a 10-day silent retreat. That, even sitting by ourselves for 1 hour with no noise and no technology and no input from anywhere except from maybe nature or the birds chirping or the trees rustling in the breeze, might be easier just to polarize rather than be present. Our relationships, whether they're an intimate relationship or they're a relationship on a global scale, because now that we're all connected by technology, we can have a relationship with people in another country or the collective in another country, okay? We can definitely have opinions, okay? And what we need to realize is that all of these things are like an energetic mirror, right? Love means seeing the soul behind the story. We need to use courage to drop the need to be right, okay? And what I think is we always have this need for accuracy. And I have since released that. When I heard about that, I was like, oh yeah, I do that. Like my husband will be saying a story when we're out to dinner, he'll be telling us something that happened, and I'll jump in and say, well, that wasn't the date. Nope, that wasn't the time. Nope, it was this many years instead of that many years. And when someone actually said to me, I believe it was one of my sisters, said, you got the need for accuracy. And it was said to me in a loving, joking way. And I was like, holy crap. And this was a long time ago. And I caught myself since then. And now this is dialed in for me. I no longer have the need for accuracy. So it takes courage to drop the need to be right and instead just choose to be real. I think that there's a lot of nuance in speaking love into the field, and that is one of them. When we do that, we speak love into the field, it dissolves separation, and in relationship, love becomes almost like a chemical reaction, and it makes things like forgiveness, truth, and connection possible. So here's some questions for that. Who would you be in your relationships if you didn't need to be right? How much would that change? You know, I've seen couples completely go cold with each other and snap at each other, even in public, when the other person is constantly correcting them. And that's just one small example. Okay, so here's another question. What conversation are you avoiding that could literally be a portal to your healing? I know that if I have a conversation or something I need to heal or get off my chest or some emotion, it's always better for me to have a conversation than to just hold it in. And it does lead. It leads to healing, okay? And then the last one in this last question, is your communication designed to connect or control? We need to really think about that when it comes to relationships, right? Because we might go into a conversation thinking, well, I'm gonna speak love and all of that, but back there behind the scenes is the idea that, well, I'm going to go in, I'm going to be loving about this, but I'm going to control this conversation and I'm going to control this situation, right? I say that because I know I've done that myself, right? So you need to decide, are you trying to connect or are you trying to control? Now we're ready for the finances part, because I believe we're all designed for abundance. I believe there's abundance for everyone in everything. Now, of course, there are powers that be and all the stuff that don't want us to all be fed and clothed and have energy and all the stuff. Like, that's a whole big topic and rabbit hole, right? But let's just look at it on an energetic level, okay? So money is not just numbers, it's consciousness. And I believe that when we do business with someone else or another company, it's not just an exchange of a good or service for money. This is an energetic exchange. We are exchanging energy. Think about the idea of when you give something for free, or say, it's never really worked for businesses to just give everything away for free. Even if they they were completely altruistic. They had unlimited money to run their business. There needs to be an energetic exchange. Something always means more and it has more value if there's an energy exchange. And this is a really, really important thing to learn and put into your awareness as you walk through this life. I don't care how young or old you are. This is one of the most important things. And anyone at any time in their life can dial this in. Okay, so here's what I wrote about that. Money is not just numbers, it's consciousness. When we operate from fear, we hoard, we hustle, or we hide. We'll hide things, we'll hoard. Operating from the lack of abundance, and it's easier said than done. I totally get it. I totally get it. When we infuse our money with love, gratitude, generosity, and intention, it tends to flow.